But all right, damn, I'm not even hyped anymore. I'm upset with
Not
myself.
like
All right,
I need to slap on the back.
yeah, give me some.
Mm. Are we recording that?
Yeah, that might
PR.
that might be the intro, the
Yeah,
intro to the
PR,
intro.
baby.
All right, let's do this shit. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Duality Podcast, where our motto is living comfortably uncomfortable. My name is Ian Perez. Alongside me is Jonathan Machado, Victor Rivera, and Chris Zora. We're four ordinary dudes with extraordinary dreams. Mr. Jonathan.
Let's go, baby. So, just a little recap from this past episode. We all had homework we're going to get to, our weakness, our strengths, all that good stuff, because this is what this whole podcast is about, is accountability and improving together. But before we get into that, I think we talked about, we almost contradicted ourselves, because your best foot forward is actually a couple of steps back. But in the podcast, we went like straight forward without introducing ourselves. Like, who are we? What do we do for a living? And so we want to give you guys just a better picture. So when we speak, you can kind of be a little bit more relatable to who we are. And so we're going to go with Ian, we're going to go with Victor, and we're going to go with Chris, and we'll end it with me. And then we'll wrap that up there and move to that next segment. So, Ian, who are you, my man?
I am a child of God, a loving husband and father of two, and going to be three beautiful children. I'm your 8 to 5 desk worker doing computer sales for a computer company. And because of these dudes, I'm bettering my mind and body day in and day out.
So what's up? All right, I'm next. I'm good.
Yeah, baby, you
Let's
next.
go, Vic.
Let's go, Vic. Vic,
So,
let's go.
yeah, I'm Victor here again. Similar to Ian there, family man first of all, and then big sports guy. A lot like watching sports. I mean, analyze that as well. So I can listen to with sports talk all day long. My son, he thinks it's boring.
Can't play.
Family thinks it's boring. But I listen to that. So big sports guy, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I didn't even say that word almost, but entrepreneur. I'm a full-time Camp Gladiator personal trainer. So that happened this year. I was kind of part-time last year. This year, full on, taking control of my time and my income.
Yeah, man, I just want to say congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment.
Congrats, man.
Going to your 8 to 5, making that full-time leap to entrepreneur. That's a big risk, baby, but you did it in a smart, strategic way, right? That took a couple, was it 2 years or one?
Yeah, it felt like 2 years. It was almost 2 years. Yeah,
Almost 2 years to make that switch. So shout out to you and shout out to your family, because now you're able to, be home and still work on your own time, right?
Yep.
Right there, babe. That's where it's at. Chris, what's up, my man?
My name's Chris. I am originally from California. I am an MRI technologist at one of the major hospitals here in Austin, Texas. I'm also just recently started a business with Jonathan, real estate investing, Vision Board Investments. Hopefully, we'll get a contract or a property under contract real soon.
Yeah.
And hey, you got a wife, right? Just want to say,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because you might get some YouTubers out here in comments like, "Who's that guy in the beard?" You gotta let everyone know that you're taking, my man.
Yes, I am married.
End up in the doghouse quick.
All right. Everybody's leaving comments. Oops.
And so, guys, I'm Jonathan Mercado, and first and foremost, I'm a family man. I'm driven. That's what my drive is, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a franchise owner with Camp Gladiator. We're an outdoor group fitness program that just turned virtual, so now we're all over the world. I have an online nutrition course, and I'm starting the process with real estate, in the process right now to hopefully within a couple of months finish out our contract on a multifamily unit building, right? So we're thinking long-term investments there for the back end. And I got 3 boys, another boy on the way. And so I got a lot of kids I got to feed, so I got to make moves and I got to plan for that future. And each one of these guys, we're all on the same mission to just better everything. And so accountability is huge. And before we go into more of the episode, now you have a better opportunity of who we are. Now you can relate, like who's this dude that's speaking. And so let's dial it back, guys. What y'all do this past weekend?
Man, I'm playing the snow, man. It snowed here in Texas. I treated it like a holiday. I really took myself, like talking about taking 10 steps back. I took it back to Christmas. I started playing music, playing snowing and everything, man. I told my wife, where the presents at, man? I need that present.
Yeah. So who was all out there in the snow? Like, who was really in the snow, hands deep?
Oh, me. I pegged my kids
Okay.
at least with 20 snowballs. Like my son's 3 and no mercy. I caught his butt 10 yards out. Bam.
I saw this film on Facebook with shorts on.
It wasn't that cold though. It really wasn't.
Talking about that though, you saw that dude at Lady Bird Lake, no shirt,
Oh yeah.
Paddleboarding.
paddleboarding as
Yep.
it's coming down. That is nuts.
That's what I'm talking about. Chris, what'd you do out there?
Yeah, I was actually at work on Saturday, so I didn't really do too much on Sunday. I went and got my second vaccine shot.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I
How
saw
do you feel? The second one.
yeah, the second dose. Yeah.
No tweaks. Or
I
nothing,
feel
you're good?
fine. Yeah, no, I'm good.
You don't
But yeah,
look fine. I just
But yeah, like
Yeah.
I was surprised to see all the snowmen out there. Like I was saying to someone earlier, I was shocked to see how many people had just like carrots laying around at their house that they could put on their snowman.
Man, it's Austin. Austin's like one of the fittest cities in the world, right? It's like top 10 maybe. Don't fact check me if you're out there. I'm just kind of like just speaking. Somebody
They
go in the
do
comment
claim-
section. It is
I
like
think they
20
do
seconds.
claim fittest city in the U.S. or something, but I don't know if that's true or not. But
No, but this past weekend, we're about 4 weeks out from our fourth boy, and so there's a thing now, and there's always like new things. Like there's when you have a gender reveal, like that was never a thing, and now that's a thing. And so here comes this new trend, which I never heard about, but it's called a baby moon. It's very similar to a honeymoon. But you go on a little mini getaway before you have the baby. And so it was honestly me and my wife, we've been together for, I want to say almost 15 years. Once you get out, you got to give me some grace, right? It's been that long. Give me a little bit of grace.
You
I
better
want
get that right.
I want to say 15 years. And we never really had a mini vacation with just to ourselves, right? Because we started so young, we have all these kids. And so we booked a little 2-day getaway in Wimberley, Texas, which is out in the woods. And, I was a surprise. I told her I'm gonna take you on a surprise. And what I had installed was a tiny home. It was like a modern, urban, tiny home where your shit is like Wi-Fi was very limited, little things to do, but just take it back old school, right? And date your wife again. And it was a little bit weird having no technology and just having straight conversation, playing card games, really talking about life and what's to come in the future. But to be honest, she said like when she first saw what with the tiny home, she was like, what the hell in her head? Because she envisioned last time we went to the woods, Chris knows last time we went to the woods, I had a big old balcony, sunrise, sunset balcony overview in the lake, the cliffs, the pool. And so she was thinking I was going to do something like that, but I didn't want it to be like, we're just in another home. I wanted it to be a getaway where it was just us in this small, it was urban. It was like really cool looking. Her name was Scotland. And we enjoyed Scotland so much. But if you guys just want a chance to reignite some fire, you know what I'm saying? It was inexpensive, really awesome trip. But
I love it,
man. So speaking of this trip, guys, I'm having these problems, and I've been having this problem, and it questions me as a man. And so I even did a little bit of research about this. I was gonna make my wife a nice steak dinner on the grill. And there's not really a grill, it was a fire pit. So, it had real wood, fire starter, all that kind of good stuff. And I had a fire pit at my house before. And for the life of me, I could not start the fire. So then that means I could not cook her a steak dinner. Bro.
man.
Like there's things in my life that I feel like a man should do. And one of them is starting a fire.
Dude, I can relate, man. There's some things that I think a man should do, and I don't do that. And so one of the things is like being handy, like around the house.
Bro.
Yep.
That handy, like I'll change the light bulbs and stuff, I'll do some stuff, but I'm not that handy, man. Like I had to call my landlord to fix things sometimes, and he'll do it like in a jiff, like real quick. And then my wife's like, I wish it was.
That's old school, man. Like when a guy could do I mean, there's gonna be a guy out there like, that ain't old school. You just ain't no man. That's why you ain't got no beard. But no, man, I feel the same way, man. I'm not a handyman, and I'll be the first one to call somebody and be like, yo, I need this fixed. Like, hey, what can we do? Right? Like Chris and Ian, like they got the leverage. Like they don't even have to do manly stuff. Like off the bat, you see the beard, they're a man.
Their man
is actually shaved, and this is a result of my 5 o'clock shadow.
Sorry, Victor. One day, my man. That's why I got a tattoo. That's why I got a tattoo to replace my beard.
I got tats, but
I guess little goatee. That's it.
No, what's funny is Steph's cousin actually kind of made a comment forever ago, and I just remembered it. But like I did something at his aunt's house, and Steph's cousin told Steph that you got a manly man, and I thought about it, just thinking real quick now, and the skills that you have don't make you a man. It's how you treat your family, your wife, your kids is what makes you a man. So I can not know how to be a carpenter or fix stuff, but my family knows that I'll provide for them in any way possible when it comes to monetary things, or I always protect them in any way. But no, just because you can't fix a car, you can't fix a house, don't make you not a man, right?
Sort of. I'm just playing. No,
but just a little 2 cents.
No, that's good stuff, man. Chris, any kind of experience with that? Or you all
man? For me, it's like, I mean, you were talking about the cars. Like I don't know much about cars at all. Like I like cars. I can name off a lot of cars, but I don't know how to work on a car.
I'm gonna be honest real quick. Yeah. Without your beard, you'd probably look like the least manly man ever. You got that soft
That'd be
look.
The prettiest one.
No. Yeah, man. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and kick it to we did our intro. Now you know kind of like who we are and know how much of a man we are. But we were going to talk about, goal setting in today's podcast. And the homework that we did about our strengths, our weaknesses, our personalities, like you got to know all your tools and how sharp they are, because each goal that you have requires a certain set of skills, and you're just going into it thinking you can be that manly man. And that's just not the case, right? You really need to dial it back. But we want to keep it very organic. And I think the topic that I'm about to bring in is going to be, I don't want to come off I need to come off blunt, right? I don't like to let things settle, and, I don't like to beat around the bush. And as part of having a group of guys that are on the same mission that have big goals, we have to be able to speak the truth to one another and not sugarcoat it, because the faster that we can get through this process, the quicker we can go where we want to go with no emotions involved. Like, this is why we have this group. And so while we were just kind of let you guys know what happened, here's what happened. And it got a little debatable in a text thread. And I did feel some type of way, but, I had to dial it back and do some things. But let me paint the picture for you guys. We did this podcast right now. It's episode 2 on Sundays, like we normally do, right? And my Wi-Fi completely shut down. And the guys, Victor, pivoted. Victor knows how to pivot. He's an entrepreneur. He did his little thing, but he pivoted. They still kept the conversation going. And then when I jumped back in, like the quality was not great. I had no mic. So when I started speaking, I was lost. I didn't know how to pick apart what everyone's saying to make things tangible, because I think that's my role in these podcasts, is to make things tangible, to pull things apart, to understand why you do what you do, so that way they can better understand and, make different moves and really get what they need to get out of these podcasts, including us. Right. And I think I personally think we missed the ball on that. And Victor agreed too. And so I was like, hey, we should run it back. And so Ian and Chris here were like, nah, we're not running that back. We need to be authentic, and we should post it, and we should just let it fly. And, so this is why I want to bring us in real quick, because it was a lot of debating going back and forth. But so Ian and Chris, here's what I want you guys to do. What were your reasoning? What is the reasoning for you guys to just leave it alone? Like, I want y'all to what y'all think.
Yeah. I mean, so I think you said it earlier, it was authentic. Because I don't want us trying to put this persona of like there's no mistakes. So I mean, we have everyday problems. Like weather was bad, internet goes down, but it just your internet going down brought out the skill of somebody else on our team. Victor pivoted and kept it going, kept it smooth.
But let me interrupt you. Victor was one of the first ones I need to run it back because that's not his skill. He was able to pivot, but he understands Victor runs off planning. Right. And so Victor shines on opportunities that he's prepped for. That's what Victor's going to come in and sweep the way, right? And so we put Victor in a position where he's like, man, I don't even like what I said. So when we said run it back, Victor's like, run it back. And I'm like, run it back, right?
Yeah. I mean, to continue on, I get you there, but it made him uncomfortable. So it made him use a tool or skill that he's not used to using. And then for me, just kind of being somewhat of the nerd of everybody, looking into social media and editing and things like that. Personally, I'm okay with putting out higher quantity rather than quality, because when you get too much into quality, it becomes that analysis paralysis and you just don't put anything up. Now, I get we've already put an episode up, but who's to say that this one we're like, let's do it again. We keep doing it. And then we all don't like it. There's 3 against 1, there's a disagreement, and nothing gets put out and it gets put off.
See, that's where you stop yourself short. You're automatically thinking about, analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
In my head, it's going to happen. Right. But so Vic, Chris, we heard Ian. Chris, why did you want to just let it fly?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, it was more about like, we had said some stuff on there, and the reactions, some of the reactions that were given to those things we said, like I didn't want to repeat those same things, and then like the reactions are just like fake. Like, I just wanted like that authenticity, like that Ian was talking about, and I thought if we just ran it back and tried to do the same thing, it wasn't going to be genuine. So that was my reasoning for it, and I thought the content was good. I mean, I do get your guys' point about the quality. Like most of it was fine, except for like those last maybe like 20 minutes or so.
I got a point, because I was on that side, and then I was actually talking to my wife about it, and then I came in and I had my daughter help me do something, and she kind of half-assed it. So I always tell her, so if you can do something, don't half-ass it. And as soon as I said it, I just blurted out an explicit word. And I just think about what I'm trying to teach her is like, if I'm gonna do something, don't half-ass it. 1, 2, with her school, I tell her, if you have an opportunity to correct a grade and you have time to do it, why not do it? So
when you have time to do it.
In my mind, I'm like, all right, I can't just not do what I'm telling my daughter to do and expect her to learn it. So at that point, I was like, all right, you know what? There's nothing bad that could come from.
He changed his tone. He changed his tone in the text there, because at first he was like quantity over quality. And I know you lean on that because that's what Gary Vee says, but it's not end all be all, right? There has to be, like, we just can't put out shit content.
True.
Right. So, and you know what? I'm glad this happened, but I want to go ahead and let Victor, why were you so adamant about running it back? Now, let's say we weren't going to run the exact same thing back, like repeatedly, where it's not organic. Like, that's not what we're going to do at all. So that narrow thinking, I was just like, and I'm looking at this from a bird's eye view, and I'll let you know a little bit. But Victor, why do you want to run it back, my man? Because it was your podcast, right? It was you led that thing. Why'd you want to run it back?
Yeah, so it's really plain and simple. For me, if I'm gonna like kind of piggyback to what Ian was saying, like that kind of realization of if we're gonna do something, we really want to do it right. So I know as far as when we do our podcast,
not perfect.
Yeah,
right.
Be authentic. We want to be authentic, obviously. We don't want to sound scripted, because that's not really kind of what we want this podcast to be. But for me, it was like, something was missing. Like, we didn't really get to like those aha moments, right? Those moments to where like, man, we're just dropping knowledge on these people type of thing. We're dropping knowledge on ourselves. We're coming to like a realization of something that didn't happen. And So for me, it was like, we didn't really hit that mark, right? We didn't hit that mark. We did good, right? We did like a solid. But from my mindset, it was like, no, we definitely got to do it again, right? We got to do it again. We got to put something better, not only for us, because we made this podcast not only for our own accountability and our own development, but we want to help those twos.
To impact.
We got to help those 2s and 3s. If those 2s and 3s hearing another type of content that's about what their level is at, you're like, well, I didn't get anything of it, type of thing. And I've been in meetings, I've been in, situations to where you expect something like, oh, I need a pick me up, right? I need some motivation. And then you go into those situations and you don't get it. You're like, oh, what the heck, type of thing. And I felt like that's kind of the impression that was left on that last podcast. And my thing was, like, we got to do it, right? We got to redo it, because I think we're better than that, right? Not saying that we were bad, it's just that we could be better.
And I will say something real quick before Jonathan jumps on. Even though I was on the side of just keeping what we had, when I did watch it back, there were things that I saw that I couldn't improve on too. So I mean, even though I was a little hesitant at first, I mean, I was still down to do it, because I know I can improve. And so, like you said, you just make it better.
So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing is, I have a job in this lifetime, is to give everybody around me the best version of me. Like, it's the best version. I mean, I'm not saying the perfect version, it's the best version. And so I'm not gonna lie, I got in the moment as looking at the text thread, and I'm like, yo, why is me and Victor so adamant? And then we have Chris and Ian, like, just nonchalant, like, let it slide, authenticity, quantity over quality. And I've been in the fitness world a long time. And so I hear a lot of excuses, right? I'm not trying to say like y'all throwing excuses, because in your perspective, like, you're saying some true shit, right? This is your perspective. This is how you feel. I get that. And so, but I've been doing this a while, and I started to unpeel back. I started to ask the why question. I was like, well, why are me and Victor so adamant and you guys are, let's just let it ride? And I started thinking about, could it be an 8 to 5 mindset versus entrepreneur mindset? Here's what I mean. Here's how I explain. I'm not trying to dog you guys, because there's going to be like, I broke this apart, and I can wrap this around, and I can make it applicable for everyone to get better, including myself, right? So I was caught up in the moment, and then so I unraveled it. I was like, okay, maybe me and Victor are so adamant because every day we gotta give 120 to be able to provide. We don't have that base level income, or we don't have a job where we can just go through the motions. I'm not saying y'all go through the motions, but I'm saying there is there's a different behavior that me and Victor are out in the wild having to hunt. So when I wake up, it's 120. I got to go get mine. I'm motivated. I'm getting things done, knocking things out, and I'm getting the world the best version of me, right? Because that's, as an entrepreneur, that's just what it takes. You got to have that mindset. And so I just sit back. I was like, well, dude, maybe it is an opportunity for me to maybe help them realize that, it's going to take a different mindset to start entrepreneuring, because you guys are coming to the 8 to 5. So you learn the entrepreneur game, right? You're going to feel discomfort. This is all new. And this is a job for me to help you guys realize, like, yo, we talk about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Having to run it back is a little bit uncomfortable, because you're like, we spent like an hour and a half. Like, I don't want to do it again. Let's just run it. Like, I'm good. It's fine. But I'm going to go by the 80-20% rule. If I'm not 80% happy with what I did, I'm going to run it back, because if I don't give it around 80%, I can't give it 100, because that's perfect. And we're not ever striving to be perfect. It's never going to happen. But if you go by that 80-20 rule, if we didn't hit 80% mark, you know what would have happened? We would have missed the impact. We would have missed the opportunity. We would have done somebody a disfavor by listening to that podcast and not really getting much out of it. Right. And so what do you guys have to say about, like, what do y'all feel about that? Could it be just a little bit separation there? Or like, could it be like, because somebody's relating right now to this, an 8 to 5 who really doesn't have to like, man, go out and freaking go get their food, right? Like we got to go out daily versus an entrepreneur is like, man, we got to go get it or else, that money's not going to be coming in.
I mean, it could maybe be it a little bit.
I want y'all to break this apart and I want y'all's perspective. I want y'all to speak, guys. I need y'all to speak in how you feel. I'm not trying to dog you because I'm about to dog myself. And we're about to bring this back, and I'm going to wrap it with a nice, good bow on top, guys.
Yeah. No, for me at least, to be quite honest, it was just selfishness, and I made an excuse for myself. I wouldn't say it's the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 mindset, just because.
Could it be though?
If I mean, it's a possibility. Like just the mechanical nature of 8 to 5 is just the same thing over and over again. So it's structured, and that's how it is. But within that in itself, like I can't let something slide, because if I let something slide over and over again,
it becomes a habit.
I'm fired. I'm gone.
Yeah.
My job's done.
Oh, I had an analogy.
So
hit it. Oh, go get it.
But from that point, yeah, I was being selfish. I'm like, I don't want to do an hour and a half again. I'm the one that has editing it. I have to edit everything. I'm missing time with my family, but then I dialed it back and I'm like, okay, if I'm not going to,
this is for your family.
Yeah. Well, this is one for my family, but two, not many people know, but I'm a gaming nerd. So I'm like, I'm more than likely going to be sitting in front of my computer anyway, playing a game while everybody goes to sleep in my house at 9 o'clock. So why not do something that's going to benefit myself mentally, and my family? So, I mean, I said it earlier, I think that there's nothing negative that could have come from us doing it again.
Nah. So he just said what I wanted to say just a little bit. If your boss was to give you a task and you turned it in 70%, you're fired. And so if you're an 8 to 5 and you're trying to do entrepreneurship, why are you going to give yourself a pass? Like you wouldn't give your boss that pass. Like you're going to give your boss the completion. Here you go, sir. But then if you're going to have that 8 to 5 mindset and you're going to jump out to be an entrepreneurship world, why would you want to give yourself 70%? Like I would want to go 120 because it's mine. And so that's what I'm just hope somebody can relate. If anybody has that aspiration to be an entrepreneur, like it's a different ballgame. You got to have a different mindset. Like you would not do that to a boss. Your ass is gone. So when you're jumping out to the entrepreneur world, you don't do that to yourself. You work harder you should be working twice as hard for yourself. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. And like, once you brought up the job versus entrepreneur thing, it made me think about my current job. And when you do MRI, you a lot of time you don't have the time to try to make it perfect. Like especially if the patient's moving too much, like you might repeat it once or twice, or for certain sequences. But for the most part, like if you're busy, you don't have that. The radiologists understand, and you just have to roll with it. So you might not produce the quality that you want, but you just have to get it done. So that could be part of my reasoning too, because like just thinking about it that way is like, yeah, we even though we want to produce better quality, we often don't have that luxury.
Boom, you're right there. Let me go ahead. Vic, you gonna say something?
Yeah, like I was like, if you kind of listen and you pay attention, right? We kind of train ourselves, right? And it's funny because I'm reading all these books, listening to all these podcasts. We are trained from like a young age, the education system, our parents, like we're brought up to just be satisfied with just enough, right? Like, hey, let's get by. All you need.
You should be blessed to have what you have, mijo.
Yeah, we talked about this on the last podcast, or when we were just talking amongst ourselves another time, is that like we're structured to just think one way, very narrow-minded, and to where we just kind of see one thing, see one lane, when there's like so many avenues and lanes that we can grow to. But I think, again, this podcast
is frowned upon, isn't it? Wanting more, it's frowned upon. I'm gonna be honest, it's frowned upon. Are you not satisfied?
And that's the thing, like that was one thing I was left with the podcast. I was like, I don't feel satisfied. I'm unsatisfied with what I gave out. Like, Like I said, I wasn't satisfied. And I think that's part of the thing of entrepreneurship. Like you have that hunger, like that always hunger. Like we talk about, hey, we got to be a lions, right? We got to be lions in this journey that we're doing, right? You guys are like Jonathan and Chris, you guys going to real estate, right? Me and Ian eventually gonna go there, right? It's gonna take like really tenacity, right? Tenacity, like you gotta be relentless, like you gotta keep going for it. And I think that type of approach on anything could be applied, even in the small things. And that's something, again, you got either, if you're not, some people are born with it. Some people are born with it, right? It makes it easier for them to be like an entrepreneur or have, right, that type of mindset. But some of us, we have to develop that, and that's fine, right?
We all had to. I was an 8 to 5 for 26 years of my life.
Yeah,
Like,
same here.
26 years.
Hey, I was an 8 to 5 as a student. You're an 8 to 5 as a student. Like you're born 8 to 5, bro.
That's true. You are kind of trained
You're born
to
8 to 5. So you're structured to
Yeah.
be 8 to 5. That's why it's so hard to try to live life on your own terms, because you were not wired that way. And so, hey, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw another monkey wrench, and I'm going to say that it's not y'all's fault. It's not Chris's fault. It's not Ian's fault for wanting to just leave it alone, because in your eyes, you were good with that. And that's my bad. Because here's why it's my bad. And this is why I had to look at it from a bird's eye view, because as being an entrepreneur, I didn't set the expectation of what makes a good podcast. I set no metrics. So in my eyes, it was terrible. In your eyes, I was like, yo, it was good. So we didn't have any metrics to say we hit this mark, this mark, this mark, this mark. That was a good podcast. So I didn't set those expectations, and a lack of expectation caused a lot of frustration. Like, let me say that again. The lack of expectation can cause a ton of frustration. And you can experience this with your wife, right? Your wife in your head is having a conversation in her head, and she's bowling up, she's getting mad. You have no idea. And she's like, pop. And I'm like, whoa, where'd that come from? She expected me to do these things in her head. And I'm just like, man, everything's cool. Right. So that caused, like, same thing could be applied in this position here. And my job is to give y'all the best version, right? So I need y'all to help build me up. I'm going to help build you guys up, and no emotions involved, because we got to move forward. And let me tell you what, I'm so happy that this happened now and did not happen episode 100 when we had a huge following. Because if we did that with a huge following, done. We would have done a big disfavor to a lot of people. And so if it happened now, that means we caught it early. And for those of you guys that just started goals or have a team or anything like this, it's called growing pains. You're trying something new. This is new. It's called growing pains. You better learn to deal with it. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean for you to back out. No, we in it for the long run. We're going to debate. We're going to talk. We're going to work things out. We're going to keep moving forward. No emotions involved, because I don't have time for the emotions. I'm trying to leave impact.
Yeah, and one thing I'm gonna add is that like those growing pains, right? And when those growing pains occur, you got to push through them. You got to push through them. Learn, evaluate, get better, right? Learn, evaluate, get better. Just got to do that. And one thing that I was listening to this podcast the other day is like, don't have a plan to fail. Like, don't have that doubt. The doubts are there, but don't have a plan to fail. Like some people, they go into something, they start doing it, and then they when things don't go their way, they start planning like in their mind why it's okay to like quit. So automatically already planning to fail. Like you don't have like, you already started like, oh man, it didn't go right. All right, I'm just gonna kind of let it go right now. So everyone listening, don't have a plan to fail. Don't have a plan to fail. All right. And so you got to have that, like, no plan to fail, plan to succeed, plan to succeed. Like, just failure is not an option. Success is my goal. Right. So just want to throw that nugget there.
And you're not failing. You got to learn how to learn.
And then like
Get out
Jonathan
your
had said
feelings.
on the first podcast, he was saying he wants friends that are going to challenge him. And I mean, that makes sense for this too, because like if we're not challenging each other, we're not going to produce the best content we can. Because those challenges, I mean, we'll eventually see like another side to our argument, and it may be better to do it a different way.
This is why you got to be open-minded. This is why you got to continue learning. So I'm gonna be very vulnerable. Like I don't have time to go around the bush, so beat around the bush. I don't have that time. And the faster we can get to the bottom of it, the faster we can move forward. And we're gonna have debates. We're gonna have some discussions. We're gonna be able to shake our hands like men and keep moving forward. Like so, when you have a WAM accountability group, you got to set those expectations where you can't get caught in your feelings because we're all trying to help each other grow. And it may not be what you want to hear. And most likely it's not, but those are going to be the best moments. And you're going to look back and you're like, I'm glad that dude gave it to me right. Because you can't see that stuff. You can't smell yourself, right? Like you could be stinking, but you can't smell yourself. That comes like, that's true. That's so true. And so it's important that y'all don't ever let me slide just because I've been in the game longer. Like that doesn't mean nothing. Y'all see a different perspective. That's why I put y'all in the position that y'all are in, so y'all can see different things and add value. This is a accountability group, right? This isn't just friends sugarcoating. Ian, it's okay, baby. We'll do it better next time. Shake it off. Nah, homie, that was not good. Let's redo it. Get uncomfortable. That's our freaking motto, right?
I was about to say that.
Comfortably uncomfortable, yeah.
We gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. For the listeners out there, you see how even we came up with that, but like we're going this journey with y'all, like going through that uncomfortability and just being comfortable with that knot, right? Like, it hurts a little bit. It's a little, it stings, but you know what? That's what I need to hear. That's what I need right now. So, you just gotta have that open mindset and you say, hey, I gotta face the facts. Face the facts, right?
We hit a wall. We talked it up. We got open-minded. Like I'm pretty sure the stuff that I was saying didn't probably sit too well with Ian and Chris, but ultimately it didn't sit well with me because I just can't put the blame on them. I set no expectation of what a good podcast is. So after this, our next meeting, we got to have some metrics, right? So we know this is a good podcast. And we know this was not up to par. I can't put that out. I can't put my name on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, hey, just one quick example. I'm a fitness dude. Victor's a fitness dude. I can give somebody a fitness plan, a nutrition plan. And if they don't follow it, what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to put my name on Jonathan's plan didn't work. No. You didn't work, right? Like, so what I put out, I got to be able to put my name on it. So you got to take ownership either way it goes. And I'm taking full ownership of what happened, but I'm glad it happened. These opportunities, these trial and tribulations, they're a sign from God that you need to learn from. That's it. Boom. Let's y'all good with that? We can move forward. No more beating the horse there, but I'm just saying every struggle happens for a reason. It's trying to, make sense for you to pivot and learn and move around. But I'm gonna end that there, guys. Hey, we're accountability. We talked about taking a couple steps back and really taking a good picture of, what you have in your tool belt, because, every goal has a certain set of skills that you may or may not have. And the faster you realize it, the faster you can move on. So homework from all of us, and hopefully you did this at home, was we needed your mission, your vision, your mission, your purpose, your vision. All right. You need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and
your values.
Need to know what else?
Your values.
Your values. So we're going to break that down. We're going to go over it. We're going to pick it apart. We're going to have a little bit of dialogue of why we chose what. And we're going to put the bow on all of it. And hopefully the next podcast is now we know our tools. Now what? And so we're about to go over our tools. Hopefully you can relate to some of the tools we have and what that means for you to move forward. And so we'll go in that same order. We're going to go Ian, Victor, Chris. take it off. Ian, what you got, my man?
I mean, overall purpose, even mission and vision. I want to build a legacy. Not, I mean, yes, monetarily, but really spiritually in the hearts of my kids and my family, to where I leave an impact when I'm gone. Like they have the meter in their head, right from wrong. They know how to work on their own. They know how to just do things without needing anybody else. Um, so I'll just give you my purpose is to build a legacy of success for my family with instructions. And then by doing so, I hope to help others create happiness within their lives. And I kind of have happiness and I italicize just because happiness is kind of relative to you. Like what makes you happy? What
It's
do
an
you want?
experience.
Yeah. It's not what you have. It's the, I think we said it last podcast possibly, but the process itself. Like, Vic, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kobe himself said at the end of his career, I went the championships that he cherished the most, but it was actually the process that he loved and just appreciated out of his whole career. God rest his soul. But from that, I found my core values being faith, family, integrity, humility, and just hard work, which is what I picked up from my dad and my grandpa.
What if core values mean to you guys?
I mean, to me, it's I mean, not to sound redundant, but core of my life, like what I base everything around my life on. And I put them in that order for a specific reason. Like without faith, I have no family. And within my family, I have to have integrity and humility. Because even now as a husband and father, I'm learning now that I might have quote unquote power in my home, but I'm not always right. And then hard work is just, again, a lesson that's just been handed down from generation to generation in my family. So at least that's what core values means to me.
I think they're a guide to kind of help you steer you while you're on your journey to remember your core, right? In case you veer off, you can always go back to your tenets.
Yep. Strengths, family oriented, love my family. I got a good little radar in my dome that just kind of helps me read people's intention, characteristics, and personality up front. I don't have a large group of friends for a reason. So these guys are in my lives because they're meant to be. Like I feel it. I feel love. I feel just a connection with these dudes. I'm real. I don't like being fake. Fake people annoy me, to be quite frank. I've got strong people skills. I just love talking to people. I'm not an extrovert, but I can relate to almost everybody and anybody. And that kind of came from sales jobs all my life. Tech nerd, I'm a jack of all trades. Selflessness being one strength of mine.
So let's do it this. So it's not just one person talking the entire time. Let's go through everyone's core values real quick. And so we can kind of get a better understanding what values you have the most. So is it with Victor or Chris?
Yeah. So as far as core values, I put faith number one, family.
Are they in any order?
Not in order. Not in order, but that could be debatable too, right? But faith, family, synergy, integrity, and then excellence was it's at my center.
I like excellence.
Synergy. That one. That's a new word. I like it.
I like how we pick different words. You can tell off the bat who we are, man.
As far as my core values, there's a lot of things that I value, but a few things I kind of pick things that were a little broad on the spectrum, just so it's not all just too similar. But I put like family and friendship like as the same thing because my closest friends are basically family to me. Kindness. Kindness is huge in my opinion. Like if you're just being mean to people for just to be mean, I'm not down for that. Like there's no reason that you should be treating other people like crap. Ambition is a big one for me as well. I mean, I think we're all ambitious doing this right now. And then also patience. I mean, I'm a very patient person. So I see how people come off, especially like when they're impatient. And it's not even about how they come off, but like, I just don't like dealing with impatient people. And
That's a lot
good
of
humor.
stress.
Yeah, it's not good for you. And then just good humor too. Like I love to laugh. I love comedy. So like Ian had
Do you tell
mentioned
jokes?
happiness, huh?
Do you tell jokes?
I mean, it's not really like.
There's a little comedy on the side. He's like, I don't want to burn. You know what I'm
And he
saying?
goes to the improv shows.
You got them dad jokes.
I definitely don't. I mean, every once in a while, I'll throw some dad jokes to
You got
to
one
my
in your
wife.
pocket?
Yeah.
No, not
Got one in
really.
your
I
pocket?
don't memorize like a joke book or anything like that. It's just like if something comes up funny in my head, I'll just say it out loud. But
Are you
yeah.
a quote guy? Like, I mean, are you a movie guy? Like, do you quote movies?
um,
That's the only fun.
occasionally, like movies, shows, like sometimes I will, but not. I'm not like someone that quotes everything.
All right, so I'm gonna go over mine real quick. They are in order, and they tell a story. And so my 5 core values are going to be family, because that's my engine. Courage, because you got to have the courage to start. Like you got to have that courage to start. You got to have hustle. You got to be able to outwork everybody, right? You just got to be able to outwork. You got to be able to work, right? You can't be afraid of work. And then grit, because what comes at work are going to come those obstacles and trial and tribulations, right? You got to be able to withstand those obstacles. You got to be able to stand tall when that thing hits and take it in the chest and pivot and move. So I like that one, grit, right? And then it's teamwork, because what I told you that quote is, if you want to walk fast, you go alone. If you want to walk far, you go together. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned over the past maybe 6 months, because I try to do everything on my own because of this pride. Bro, never have I ever listened to a successful story and they did it on their own. There was always a team. There was always somebody, a wife. There was always some kind of support system to get them to where they are. And so leave that pride alone. Like, it sounds cool to try to do the manly thing, right? Like, I take care of my whole family. Nah, man, my wife wants to do it too. Like, let's go. Like, let's go. But yeah, those are my 5. And I would add a 6, because what Chris said is kindness. I feel like you don't need to be mean for no reason. Like, when people are just mean, off the bat, they don't even know you, or they come across condescending. I'm like, man, there's no reason for that. Like, I'm just a human being like you, man. I got a big smile. Why you mean to me? Like, I got a big old smile. Like, don't let these. I think I always get the cold shoulder because I have a little bit of muscle, right? And maybe my face is that RBF. I don't think so. Like, I always have this awkward, weird smile with a messed up tooth. So, like, come on now. I shouldn't be that intimidating for you to like shake my hand so hard and for you to be condescending in any type of way. I'm like, bro, like, hey, chill, man. You win.
And then with kindness is like, it's not like, I mean, of course, there's also going to be trash talk and stuff like that. But with your boys, just talking trash, that's always fun.
Like,
but
y'all all
but you're not
intentionally,
but you're not intentionally like trying to hurt people.
Yeah. And so we got all our core values. Like, those are super important, guys. Whenever you feel lost, you can always go back to those. But I want to speak about your purpose and your mission and your vision, because I struggled and had to do a lot of research, because without these 3 things, you're kind of lost, and you can kind of be like jumping from one thing to another, because you really don't have that engine, because you might be running out of motivation. And then, so here's what your purpose is. Purpose is your engine. I had to do research because they all look very similar to me. And to some people, they do mean different things. But after reading in articles this past weekend with my wife, your purpose is your engine. It's your why, right? You got to have that strong why, because if you don't, you're just going to fall off, right? Your motivation is not going to be there if you don't have a strong why. And then your mission is going to be the strategies to get you there. It's going to be your what. And then your vision is the end goal. What do you want to leave behind? Like, what is that end goal? And so without these 3 things, you're not going to really have a strong foundation to move anywhere. Like, you might get somewhere, but you're going to veer off too far, and you're going to find yourself in a different rabbit hole that you probably just weren't meant to be there. As opposed, if you had everything in alignment. Like you sat down, you dug deep of who you are, you're going to be able to get where you want to go just a little bit quicker because you have these borders, right? No, success is not one straight line. You know, you're going to go some places, but if you have these things already clarified, you're going to go a lot less further away from your goal. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Like star. Yep.
my purpose is I want to leave a blueprint of success for those that come behind me that dare to dream and chase. That's my purpose. It's what I do, right? It's the why I wake up and I have so much energy, and also because energy drinks as well.
At 10 o'clock at night.
At 10 o'clock, well, I'm running off 3 hours of sleep. I wake up at 3 a.m. Monday through Friday. Like my grind, I'm ready. My vision, right? This is my end goal is to give the generations behind me the opportunity and exposure to succeed at their dreams. I just want to leave that blueprint. And for those that come behind them, like that's my end goal. They don't have to be me, but I want to leave those nuggets of like, hey, if you want it, like here, I did that. I was that guy, right? I'll sacrifice the grind for that way you can get there a little bit quicker. And then my mission is what my day-to-day is to motivate, encourage, and inspire to never stop dreaming and chasing. That's just what I do on the day-to-day with people around me. And that's what I live by. And so it was very hard to do these. And Desi got frustrated doing them because it's hard. Like you really got to dig in your soul. Did y'all have that experience, or y'all just like off the bat, off the cuff?
No, I questioned myself. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? And I came to the conclusion that my purpose now may not be the purpose 5 or 10 years.
It changes.
Yeah.
No, it changes for sure. Y'all got.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. Like it wasn't easy. I didn't come off the cuff or anything like that, or just rolled off, you know, like in a snap. So I definitely had to ask. What I did is I had to ask like my why 7 times. So like, why do you want to do certain things, right? Why do you want to reach their goals and stuff like that? So every time I asked myself another why until I hit like the 7th why to really dig down deep and really to the core of why I'm doing things. Why I want to do what I'm doing now. So that's what I came up with, you know, my purpose and vision from those 7 whys. Because sometimes you could be very like in the surface, like, oh, you know, why do you want to build, you know, wealth for your family? It was like, oh, because, you know, I want to live comfortably. Why? You know, I just said, why do you want to live comfortably? And they're like, oh, because you know, I don't be able to buy things for my family. Well, why? You know, it's like those things you gotta keep kind of peel the onions. We talked about it, like peel the layers off until you get to like something that's gonna hold you down when things get tough, right? There was a story in this book that I'm reading that had this same exercise with people, right? And this guy, he asked, hey, he wants to volunteer to do this exercise, and that guy said, I'll do it. So he asked, like, hey, you know, why do you want to do, you know, X, Y, Z, right? So he had a goal. He said, oh, because, you know, I want to do this, right? And then we asked him why. So at the end, on that 7th why, he told his story that he wasn't a good son. He wasn't a good person when his mother died. And
he got deep.
And then he said that from that moment on, he didn't want that to be his legacy. He wanted to make his mom proud after that. Like she couldn't see him in person, but from up top, right, from the heavens down, he wanted to know, and mom know that I'm changing, I'm making an impact. And that was like, if that's your why, oh man, that guy's never gonna quit. Whatever it is, whatever occurs, that man's not gonna quit because his why will be like, I gotta make my mom proud. So
if it's strong enough, right? And if it's strong enough, baby, whatever, like no judgment what your why is, but if it's strong, it's gonna take you far. Chris, what you got?
So my purpose, I mean, I struggle with this too. I still don't even know if I'm 100% sold on what I thought of, but my purpose that I thought of at the time when I was thinking about it is I want to live life on my own terms. If I'm working, it's because I want to work, not because I have to work. And my parents like took us traveling a lot as a kid, and I mean, I grew up loving to travel, and I still love to travel, and I want to be able to instill that same passion into my future kids. And then I was thinking about it as Victor was talking about the whys and the whys, like, so why do I just want to work on my own terms? Like, or why do I want to live life on my own terms? And I was like, I really was thinking about it. And I think it's because as great as my parents are, they worked the evenings. So like basically we would come home from school and then we would maybe see one of them for an hour or so. And then we went to the babysitter. So I want to make sure that I'm giving my future kids all those great memories that my parents gave with me, like eat dinner every day, like together when they're off, and like go travel and do this. But I also want to have more time with them. But yeah, so I think that's my purpose. As far as my
Get your time back.
yeah, exactly. My mission, like once again, like I said, I kind of thought of these separately, so I didn't really tie them all that well together. But I just want to continue to grow and improve in every aspect of my life while helping others do the same. So in order to help others, you need to, I mean, to improve yourself, you need to, or in order to help other people improve, you need to improve yourself. As far as my vision, I just want to have the lives of my future children and their future children, and just generate from generation to generation to be set for life, and not just financially, but like I mentioned before, kindness is a big thing. So I want to make sure that they're also set morally as well. Like they're just good people.
Good people, man. I love it. Vic, we didn't get to your mission.
Yeah, we didn't. Actually, I didn't even read my purpose or my vision. But
Oh shit, you were telling a story. Hey, your story went deep, bro. Your story went deep.
So real quick, purpose, really just make a positive impact, make a positive difference, / impact on my family, friends, and clients, really to break any glass ceiling in their lives. So that's my purpose. And vision, build a future for my family without limitations, not only just now, but for generations to come.
Do you have a mission?
So I didn't have my mission, so my bad on that one. But I'll share after. I'll work on it for sure.
I'm just playing, homie.
Let's hear it off the dome.
Accountable. That's part of what we are doing this, right? Keep ourselves accountable.
No, for sure. Yeah. Hey, so this next part, we're going to go over strength, weaknesses. And this is the part you shouldn't do alone, because you suck at some things and you won't admit it. And so this is why I had Desi, because Desi put me a check. I was putting something down. She's like, and then I had to look and like, oh, snap. You right? You're trying to make yourself sound good on paper, or whatever the case may be, right? And so this is super important. And we're going to, this is probably going to be I mean, they're all good things. So don't skim through these, like really dig deep on the whys. So my strengths, because you want to lean into your strengths or your gifts, those are your talents. Like those are things that you are going to be naturally just great at. So like just off the bat, right? Ian's naturally good with the electronics. So what is he doing? He's operating in his gift right now. And then Chris, he's like methodical. And so when it comes to like slowing things down, an investment, right? I need somebody to kind of help slow me down and see the things I can't see, because I'm driving and I can only see 20, 30 yards in front of me. I need a pilot.
You got that tunnel vision.
I need that pilot, bro. I need that pilot that's going to be able to see, hey, Jonathan, it's like a racetrack, right? The driver goes as fast, but the crew chief is the guy that's like, hey, the strategy, like boom, boom, boom. And then Victor, the freaking planner, like the detailed for sure. Like he's the one that puts everything into structure and very patient with it. I get anxiety from it and I'm just like, And so this is why you want to lean in on your gifts, because that's how important they are. So if you don't know your gifts, you need to get someone around you and ask them, hey, what do you think I'm good at? And so mine are big picture. Like I throw the big picture and then I need somebody else to kind of like support that, right? My ideas, let's throw something out there. Let's see a lot of minds and let's make something better out of it. And then motivate and encourage. I feel like that's just one of my natural things I do. Obviously I love to speak and I don't know how great I'm at it. but I try to do it for my my videos that I do for my clients. And then I'm a huge risk taker, which is obviously you could tell off the bat. Like I jump and I jump far. Those are my strengths. Let's go around the balls. When they go around, I'm gonna be able to sniff that out because we know each other a little bit to be able to like, man, you ain't that. Like you don't. So let's go. Like Ian, what's up?
Strengths of mine, family oriented. That was instilled in me.
Okay.
You won't ever win over my family, so don't try. I got a radar on people's intentions and characteristics and personalities, and I kind of said it earlier, and we kind of diverted back to vision and mission. But I just can feel if someone's genuine with me. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll say it again. My group of friends is very small, so God's put these 4 guys in my life for a reason, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm real. Don't like fake. If you got a problem, we'll talk about it like men, like adults. But you also know that, if I care for you, that you don't have to second guess it. Strong people skills. I'm a tech nerd, a jack of all trades, and selflessness is a strength of mine.
You're a supporter, bro. Those are all supports, like supporting your family, supporting the relationships. You have a small circle. Like, bro, you there to support. Like
I got your back.
You're a bridge, homie. I love it. Like everything you said, I could tell it's real. Vic, what's up?
Yeah, so real quick, what I did, I took the self-assessment test, the DISC one. So I got a lot out of that as well. And
oh yeah, tell them, like, if you don't know your gifts or your strengths, do a personality test. It's gonna let you know who you are.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to do again because I hadn't done it in years. And so I took it again. I'm still an S, so I'm still straight S.
What is that?
Huh?
Superman?
The what?
S.
What is S?
What does that stand for?
So there's 4 personalities in this. Once you take this test, a bunch of questions, and then
It's called the DISC assessment.
Yeah.
Right?
We put into like 4 different categories or personalities that you're
The dominance,
most
influence, steadiness, and
Consciousness, I think.
consciousness.
Yeah. So I'm S, right? So I'm steadiness. So I'm like 70 some percent steadiness. And then I'm also an influence. So strong I already know, but I develop a C. That's why I saw the detailed stuff and trying to be not very perfect, but really strive to get it right. That's where that C comes from. So I'm a triple threat personality there. So the strengths came from that. So I'm patient, very calm, and then I support others really well. So I'm kind of with Ian. I'm there for you, man. If you need something, I'm there for you. I'll put you first before me. All right.
Nah, man.
Optimistic. Always see the lining and things.
You're not a complainer.
Yeah, not at all, man.
Don't bring that to me either, bro. Don't take my energy away. I don't got time for that. I'll deflect.
Diligent, and then strive for excellence, and then coaching comes with that type of support personalities. Just coaching folks. That's why I'm passionate about what I do as a personal trainer.
I feel it, bro. Those make sense. Chris.
So you already said one of them, that I'm methodical, very analytical, and or thinking like logistics. If there's a way to improve on something or make it easier, make it more effective, I try to figure that out. I'm very adaptable. If things are not working, that kind of works with the analytics too. It's like when something's not working, I try to figure out why and try to see if I can fix it. I'm great at calming people down, putting them at ease, because I'm just calm natured, like
you have that voice.
Yeah. Patients tell me all the time that. I mean, because in MRI, patients
you put me to sleep, fool.
They're very claustrophobic. Shut up.
I don't think you could yell. Like if you got mad, this would be the tone that you had. Why
But
aren't the dishes
yeah,
done? I'm so
yeah, in
mad right now.
MRI, like there's a lot of scared people because either the noises are too loud for them, they're super claustrophobic, and you just kind of have to put them at ease, or else they're not going to do it without some sort of sedative. Um, and then I'm great at getting over things like easily. Like I don't dwell on things. So like I'll like if something happens, I might be mad for a day. It's usually not even a full day, and I just get over it.
Not in that text thread. I'm just like, hey. So okay, this next important part. We're gonna dial in on our weaknesses, and we're gonna put a cap on it, and then we'll finish it with the next episode. But these are super super important. Please don't do this by yourself because you don't know your weakness. It's like when you take a poop, you don't know that shit smells until somebody walks away and like, whoa, and you're like, oh, was it that bad? I didn't think it was that bad. It's not that bad. Right. And so got to do this with somebody, and it has to be done. And so your weakness is, so a lot of people want to say, focus on your, strengthening up your weaknesses. You can make them, you can improve on them. There's some tasks that you have to do that you're going to need those weaknesses to come up. And that's just part of that goal. Like you do have to bring those up, or you be a little bit smarter and more wiser. You just put people in the right position that those are their strengths. And I'm learning how to do that, but I'm just like flowing. I'm not hiding away from it. I'm just being more effective the way I move. And so my weaknesses are detail. Like I get anxiety. I'm not a planner. Right. So like when I'm planning things, like I had a plan this weekend because it was a surprise for my wife, and I was like overflowing with anxiety. Like I was like, I don't know what I do. Like, what's the plan? Like usually when you plan things, Desi, right? You're the planner. Let's go. Don't get mad at me because I don't know how to plan. And I just haven't worked on it. I just like to put people in that position, right? Put on the spot. I don't like to be put on the spot. I do like to be prepared. Right. It may seem like I like to be put on the spot. I bullshit well. But let's see, taking notes. That's something I'm actually working on because I need to be a better note taker. So I am reading a quick little blink list of how to take notes because it's important for me to remember this information. And so I am getting a little bit better, but I don't like to be put in that situation to take notes. And pride is one thing I'm working on. That's a super weakness, right? I told you the quote. And selfishness, man, I'm probably the least supportive person on the cool. Like this is the one me and Desi dug deep in. And I don't want to go too deep and make this long, but man, this one hit me hard. And Desi smelled the stank. And I really was trying to make myself sound supportive. And this is where Desi came in and said, bro,
you stink.
You like that. You are least supportive. Like you do things that benefit you and benefit you only. And I was like, damn, you know what? You're right. And that's a stink that I don't want to have. And so that's something that I'm going to really dial in. I can't outsource that one out. I need to dig deep on that one. So I take ownership. So let's go.
But there's one you forgot. It's kind of it's like your grammar / pronunciation.
Oh yeah.
You're currently on Hooked on Jonix, but you need to be on Hooked on Phonics.
Yo, yes, pronunciation, vocabulary, cuss words, a lack of vocabulary. That is something that I'm actually trying to work on. I took a speaking course, right? Like I've invested into a little bit of improvement and some knowledge in that area. So it's not the old Jonathan where I'm slurring everything and this cuss words coming left and right. I'm a little bit more methodical, a little bit. Hopefully there's some improvement, which is why I'm on this podcast. Because then 1 year later, I hope I sound better.
I mean, you've definitely improved over the years. Like I've known you for about 4 years now, and you've definitely improved on that front.
Oh yeah, no, we used to dog on him like OG. Him. That was a running joke, but he's improved. But I'll kick it off next though with my weaknesses. I think entirely too much, like to the point where it's either analysis paralysis and I stop myself doing stuff, or I build so much like this out of the box scenarios where anxiety gets built up and I shut down because of fear.
And you ain't even made a move. You're just thinking. Yeah, I'm like, bro, calm down, bro. Yeah, so you ain't even there yet. Like you ain't even there yet. Like, what do you mean? Like in your head, you're acting like I don't want to say female, right? But you're acting like you're talking in your head, have this whole scenario played out. Yeah. And you ain't even like there yet.
No, but because of that comes confidence, and like not because of what people tell me, but myself. Like I dog myself before I even try to where I stop. And I'm kind of looking at these now and they're kind of like a snowball because of each of them. But because of the confidence, I become inconsistent and things that I want to accomplish. And then it's funny, it just keeps going. My pride keeps me from realizing that I'm inconsistent with those things.
Bro, this is why we gotta do this. You gotta be able to smell the stank.
And then the snowball kind of stopped. But finances, I pay all my bills, but the extra amount of money, I'm bad about holding on to it. I'll spend it on family, and that's where the next weakness of mine, which was also a strength, is selflessness. I put everybody before me, and I don't think of me. And all my goals and aspirations, I either pause or put away because my intention is on my family first. And it's nothing against them; it's just my mindset. Like my mind first is to take care of them.
No, it makes sense, brother.
But yeah, those are mine.
Hey,
All right, I'll go. So one of my weaknesses to
got a
accomplish.
lot, bro.
Uh,
Weak Yankees? No.
oh,
I'm just glad he didn't say his strengths were basketball. Like I'm just glad. Let me call the stink on that.
but on the real, it's, just being too accommodating. It can be, like I said, I'm an S, right? So I provide support, that steadiness for a lot of folks, and then I kind of become too accommodating to kind of what a little bit what Chris said. Is like when you become too accommodating, you have an argument or disagreement with someone, and then I like, you know what? Let's just like let's just do it your way. Let's just end it.
You miss out on opportunities.
So, and then stoic, right? Weakness of mine. Introvert. It can be introvert a lot of the times. Just observing, just being in the background type of thing. And then outspoken, not being outspoken enough. So those are my weaknesses there. Like I said, I really had to like I say, smell your stink, right? Some of these things I don't like, and some of the things don't come. It's comes and goes, right? Sometimes I'm not I get when I'm training someone in a group, I can't be an introvert. I'm out there, just being extra motivating. But in the core, when I need to be an extrovert, I'm not, or when I need to be outspoken, I'm not, and that's kind of where my weaknesses lie.
Christopher.
So like the first time we recorded this, like when I was listening to Victor, I was like, man, we are so alike on so many fronts. Like we have a lot of similarities, but yeah, the accommodation.
Good looking.
What do you know? The comment, like being too accommodating, like I agree. Like I think sometimes when I'm too accommodating, I get taken advantage of. My speaking, my storytelling, like I'm still working on that. I need to work on my tone. Like I can't always be in the same tone 24/7. My social media is pretty bad. Like I don't post much. I was good with MySpace. I was good with Zanga. Like I loved editing it, loved putting the videos up there. Like the music, like the music in the background. Like I loved doing all that stuff. But now I just suck at social media. I tend to be a little guarded or just not that vulnerable in front of people. So like sometimes you're not going to really know what I'm thinking, or like I don't want to like expose myself, so I don't show you my full self. And I think part of that's because of my confidence. No, but I think part of that's just confidence. Like sometimes that's not quite there. I think sometimes I care about too much about what people think, but then with certain things I don't really care at all. So like I said, with my gift of getting over things very easily, sometimes I get over it too easily. And that can be just as big of a problem as it is a strength. And the last thing I've like found out, like from watching our first episode, is my camera presence. Like I really need to work on that as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you're good looking, but if you had better lighting, you'd be A1.
Well, thank you, Jonathan.
All right. Hey, so we're going to wrap it there. Here's the little things that are tangible. Here's the little things that we cover in this podcast, because we're learning. Like this whole thing this is all the learning that you guys are probably doing right now in your goals, right? And so real quick, cap it off, baby. You're going to hit that obstacle and you need to swallow the pill and realize that something's wrong. go to the source. Let's figure it out together, and you can keep moving forward. The second thing is you got to have those tough conversations, and you got to swallow your own stink or smell your own stink, right? Please don't do your self-development, your mission, your purpose, your values, all that good stuff by yourself, because that's not going to be any useful to help you go forward. And so grab somebody that knows you well, your wife, your family, your friends, your kids. Boy, your kids will tell you real quick what you're not good at, right? And we're going to talk in the next episode on how to use what you know about yourself now. And we're going to get a little bit more detailed into the actual planning. So, I just want to, we'll let Ian wrap it up. He's the wrap it up guy.
Yeah. Before I do, what's everybody doing for the week? What you got for the week?
Voice. I just finished a book. Normally, a book a month is what I naturally do. And I usually kind of go hard in the paint. I'll do more, but I realized I need to take a quick step back, and I'm going to do a book a month, finish it as fast as I can. And then now I'm going to do the research on the book and take the notes and really digest everything that book has. And so that's how I'm going to get better with my note taking. And that's one of the skills I want to get better at.
Good plan. Vic, what you got for the week, man?
Just working on my business, really. Got new clients, just connecting with them, and how can I make them long time clients, and just following up with current clients I have, just kind of pulse checking how everyone is at the beginning of the year. So I challenge my own clients to have some goal setting and change things from years past to make a difference here as far as fitness is concerned. So that's my focus this week.
Nice. Did you tell them there's like a really, really cool podcast that just came out they should probably listen to help out?
Yeah, bro. Did you tell them?
Just saying.
Have y'all done that?
Yes. I don't have clients.
Yeah, I've been talking to my coworkers about it. So.
Oh, damn, I got to step up my game then.
You got to plug it in when you can. Chris, what do you got for the week, man?
I'm just going to continue my reading. Hopefully I can finish my book by the end of the week. If not, I'll try to finish it by next week. And I want to put the final touches on our website for our real estate investing company.
You said it, baby. Next week, we better have an update.
What was it called? Chalkboard Envisions?
Vision Board Investments.
Oh, okay. Now, for me, I'm going to finish my book titled The 12-Week Year.
I just finished it.
It's a gut check. It's got good info. My wife's going to start reading it as well. I'm going to dig some more in the real estate investment course. And other than that, man, just family time. But as we close this episode out, I want you to do one thing and ask yourself, who are you? What is your why? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And then set goals. And now that you have all this info that you came up with, make a game plan, because Yogi Bear said it best. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace else. Yep. We appreciate you being here today. And until next time, peace and love.